Wanted to share this with you in case it's not quite as beautiful where you are. Do I wish you were here? Fuck no. Stay away. But I wish this was there so that you could have some. But right now it's mine, all mine. But I'll share a little bit.
Hello. I think it cut the intro a little early.
Yeah, because we don't have
ready.
time.
It's fine. We're ready to do the news.
We have so much news, we don't have time to run the whole intro. What's up, everybody? It's too early.
It is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And baby, it's news outside, as they say.
You know how they say in the news business.
You know how they say, that old classic tune, baby, it's news outside. Saige, you are dressed in the traditional garb of your people.
Yes.
It must be, the harvest season must be nigh. We must be so close. I saw Michaels put out their flyer about Halloween, and I said, oh, it's Saige season.
Yeah, it's our time. It's upon us. Like, this wasn't entirely intentional. I do live like this, like, year-round.
Yeah. But this is particularly...
But yeah, it gets more obnoxious as the year goes on.
Yeah.
I'd say. And we're getting there. And I'm excited about it. In these trying times, we need something to look forward to.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. We are like 16 days away from Over the Garden Wall season.
Exactly. And someone said, thank you for reminding me. Giggle Loop in the live studio audience said, thank you for reminding me I need to check Michael's today. I'm going to Michael's today.
You gotta go to Michael's
This
today.
is my Michael's outfit.
We're Michaeling.
You might think I got dressed for the show. No. I got dressed for Michael's.
Last year, due to the Panera, due to the athlete's foot, you didn't get to go to Michael's as early as you wanted to in the season.
I was so sad.
But we went together, and let me tell you, she takes Michael's during Halloween just as seriously as you think she does.
Just as seriously as I should.
Yeah, there was a lot of, and you turn into one of those very experienced Michael's shoppers where you're like, so this model of an evil Venus flytrap is very good, but one of these leaves is chipped, and it is the last one, so I'm going to see if they can give me like a little bit of a discount on it. And I was like, wow, you're a serious Michael's shopper.
Thank you.
She took it very seriously.
The selection was limited. I had to be. We got there late.
We did get there late. We were, of course, terrified of the world.
Right.
And so by the time we felt comfortable going to Michael's, because I needed to get some stuff framed, and I got a ton of frames, and yet somehow none of my things are framed. Like, there's still so much art that isn't framed.
You got a couple things framed that day, right?
I got a few things framed.
Only a couple.
Are any of them on the wall? No. Shh, it's only been a year.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, 'tis the season for spooky news.
So then let's start with a piece of spooky news, actually. I have some.
I'm going to start with our new mugs.
Oh, yeah. The glare, you got to back it up a little bit. Yeah.
So we got two new mugs.
We do. Anthony got us new mugs.
This one is a tarot card of Tom Nook, and it says the devil.
This one, picked out, I will clarify once again, by Anthony, says, I am small and sensitive, but also fight me, and it has a cat holding a knife.
I mean, I feel like I nailed it, though. Picked out by me, but I feel like I nailed it.
I'm very big.
You're very big. You're very big. Tell me about a spooky news.
Well, Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight, we're familiar.
We love Dead by Daylight.
Nothing we love more than the last surviving asymmetric horror game.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good for Dead by Daylight. We wish them all the best.
Well, it's because they keep doing cool shit like this.
They do.
It looks like Pinhead's coming to Dead by Daylight.
I love what an enduring symbol of horror Pinhead is when there has not been a Hellraiser film in decades. But we all just know and love Pinhead still.
That's all we got. That's all we got.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. It's a tiny teaser trailer. But, look. We're fairly certain. Oh, we also got this image. Hold on.
Oh, were they doing some steganography?
So,
Spectrogram.
Yeah, audio files that revealed the word hell via spectrogram.
Love that. They didn't need to do that.
They didn't need to do that, and they did.
They didn't need to do that, and they definitely did not need to use the DeFont graffiti font. But I love that they did.
Like, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Literally. So, basically, they said that hints about the next killer would be included audio files posted to Discord that revealed hell via spectrogram, and letters posted to Twitter that spelled out raise. Then came a teaser video showing the fuzzy VHS recording that we just
said,
showed you. Flower blossoming.
There was a thing that said hell, and then tweets that said raise, and then if you listen to the video really carefully, it goes,
So the red flower blossoming in the background of that fuzzy VHS video is from the scene when the Cenobites are summoning Hellraiser. So like Pinhead's coming.
Yeah, Pinhead's
Is what
coming.
We're saying. Like,
Pinhead's coming. A lot of
Pinhead's
people
coming.
thought it was going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's automaton next.
I did see that Five Nights at Freddy's has been trending a few times for it, of people asking for it.
People are really thinking that was going to be the next one. I like that it's Pinhead.
I think that they've done a good job of leaning into a lot more traditional horror.
Yeah, and I think it's great because they've done such a good mix of bringing in traditional horror and like cult followed thing, like Pyramid Head. When they brought in Pyramid Head.
Yes.
Like that was very cool.
Oh,
but like
so
there
cool.
hasn't been a Silent Hill in a few years, but they're doing a great job of like bringing in old and new. They had the K-pop killer not too long ago, which was entirely created for the game. So they're doing a great job of old and new trends, which I think is like keeping the game fresh and also multi-generational, which is
agree.
important.
I think that I would be very curious to see. I don't think, and I have nothing to base this off of, I don't think that the Dead by Daylight audience is the Five Nights at Freddy's audience. I don't see that to be the case.
Not necessarily, but that could be one of those things that they do to bring the Five Nights at Freddy's audience over to try out, because Lord knows that's a hugely popular game.
Can I be honest with you?
I don't want them.
I don't want to.
Don't want them there.
I don't want to. I love the fans that Pinhead brings. I love the fans that Pyramid Head brings. We've got classic horror fans. And look, this is not about a superiority complex of like, I like classic horror. No. But the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom is so scary.
It's a majority of them are youths that care a lot and have squishy frontal lobes because of how young they are.
But they're angry teenage boys.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't like teenage boys.
I mean, look, teenage boys are maybe the most maligned demographic by adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Teenage boys, as somebody who was once a teenage boy, I didn't even like me when I was a teenage boy. That's the majority of the problem.
Yeah.
Somebody please help and fix the teenage boys.
Parents mostly.
Parents mostly. Now I'm Pills and Advice in the live studio audience says, now Anthony is a teenage man. That might be the most accurate description of me.
Wow. You should change your Twitter bio.
Teenage man. I can't do that.
Teenage Mutant Man.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Man. Here's the thing. Jason Nash. Blech.
Ick.
The one good thing Jason Nash ever did is he had merch that said, I'm not like other teens, I'm 45. And I was like, damn it.
And that's
if
why
anybody
he keeps
else,
trying to kiss teenage girls.
And that's why he keeps trying to kiss teenage girls. And I was like, damn it, if anybody else made that, if it did not have the horrible subtext of a Jason Nash, I would love that shirt.
Yeah, yikes.
If I could do that without giving him a nickel or being associated with him.
Yeah, yikes.
But I do love that because I feel like that I'm not like other teens, I'm 45. I feel like that's a mood for a lot of people. A lot of people.
Yeah. That's fair.
I don't necessarily love everything it says about me.
Right.
But we can move on.
As for the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom, I started doing research on it because I was going to cover it on One Time on the Internet.
Yeah.
I backed out.
Yeah, don't do it.
I started doing the research and I was compiling a piece for One Time on the Internet and I was like,
don't Candyman that shit into your life.
I'm actually not interested.
No.
I'm actually not happy to be here.
Have they done Candyman in Dead by Daylight?
They haven't yet, but they're doing the new film, so they're of course.
Yeah, the new movie.
I think
mean,
they will. I'm hoping they will. I guess I don't know that. by
give me a
any
little
means, but, like,
Candyman.
They haven't been super active of doing like new films, but they did do like that big Stranger Things drop, which Ronan mentioned in the live studio audience that is going into the vault for anybody who wants to swoop that up before it goes away.
It's
That
like
was
the
a very
Disney
popular
Vault,
launch.
but for murderers.
Yeah.
That's exciting. This is very exciting Halloween-themed news. In further Halloween-themed news, there's a Castlevania game
I love Castlevania.
that I've never played, and it blew my fucking mind that there's a Castlevania game that I've never played.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You played every Castlevania game?
I've played just about every Castlevania game. Yeah.
Damn.
Not all the way to the end of every. I haven't finished every Castlevania game. Why
But
would
you've
you?
at least dabbled.
I've dabbled. Why would you try to finish Castlevania 64? Why would you not just play it for an hour and be like, well, okay.
Well, that's what that is.
Well, all right.
So, Castlevania, Grimoire of Souls.
Previously only available in Canada as a mobile game. And now Grimoire of Souls is coming to Apple Arcade.
Yeah, it was not only a mobile game only in Canada, but it was a defunct mobile game only in Canada. They ended up shutting it down relatively quickly. It was not something that was active for long. They stopped updating it, didn't care about it. That was back in 2018. It received a Japanese beta only, but the whole thing only lasted a year. They previously had said it had plans for global release, but gave up on it. And now the project has been revived and coming to Apple Arcade.
I love this. You can see some classic Castlevania characters and environments here. Looks like just like all of the kind of modern 2D Castlevanias, there are going to be multiple characters with multiple play styles to choose from. Your classic vampire hunter, your magician, your witch.
That's a good-looking mobile game.
It's a good-looking mobile game.
That's a good-looking mobile game.
I'm very excited. Anytime there's a new Castlevania game, I want to play it. And I'm also excited because of that good phone controller.
Your backbone?
My backbone controller. I have a month. I did the free month of Apple Arcade this month, so hopefully it comes out very soon. Because I'd like to try it out while I'm still in my free month.
Yeah, sure. Also, we've
You know?
got a lot of new friends joining us today.
My
Hi.
goodness.
Welcome to It's Too Early. We're
Hello.
glad you're here. Thank you for dropping by.
So lovely of you to join us. We're just talking about games.
We're just here to talk about games.
We're just
Come
talking
talk
about
games
games. Let's talk about
with us.
this cutie little showcase that's coming.
Ooh, a very special kind of showcase.
So, you know that we're big fans of indie games here.
We are. We
We-
stan an indie game.
Indie games are the best. They are keeping innovation and fun alive in video games. Not all, but I'll tell you what. A lot of the good and best mechanical ideas for games come from indie games. And we had the comfy games or the cozy games showcase a couple months ago. We just had the Nintendo Indie World showcase,
Yeah.
which was very good. And now a bunch of indie developers have gotten together for a very special kind of showcase. It's called Hub World.
A 3D platformer direct.
It's entirely independent 3D platformers, a genre which, does not enjoy the spotlight it once enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that one's cute. Or that one where you look like a little cloud is. I'm really into that. So this one's going to be taking place on August 29th. It's presented by Kiwi and Melon. And it's awful fucking cute. Y'all know platformers make me rage. I'm not a huge platformer fan, but I love to watch a platformer.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of watching someone else play a platformer so
Well-
that it doesn't enrage me. And I enjoy celebrating platformers and what they do and the way they exist. I enjoy the aesthetic of a 3D platformer.
Well, yeah.
Ugh.
I was gonna say that I think there's something in all of us that enjoys like a good mascot character-based 3D platformer, just
Yeah.
because like we all grew up watching cartoons, and this really does harken back to childhood, to cartoons, to classic games. This is a game called
Froppy Vibes.
This is a game called Frogun. Your gun's a frog. That's all you need to know. Frogun.
Like, is anyone else getting MHA Froppy?
Oh, for sure.
Very cute.
Even something about her face and her family portrait.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very froppy eyes.
Yeah, it's the big round eyes.
There's another one here. The Shutterfly, they're developing a game called Hell Pie, sticking with our cool horror theme, where you're just a little devil demon running around.
And everything's all...
I don't know why everything's all weirdy.
Everything's weirdy.
I don't know why everything's all
Like a weird
weirdy.
shadow thing.
Yeah, it looks like you picked something up. Oh, yeah.
Oh, when you picked something up that affected it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Made it a little trippy. Now, the thing that I actually find the most interesting about this is I think that this is a signal of something we're about to see a lot more of, which is indie showcases by indies, as opposed to indie show. You know, you got your Nintendo Indie Direct, you've got your Xbox ID Indie Showcase, right?
I think, yeah. I mean, Devolver sort of started this trend of publishers. Yeah, of publishers and particularly independent publishers doing their own thing because it's like, hey, we don't have the money to compete. But here's the thing: you don't really need the money to compete. I mean, in a time in the industry when the biggest publishers are backing out of E3, all you need is 5 or 6 developers to get together and run a stream.
Yeah.
And announce your games to the world, show them off, make an event out of it.
We see more of this.
Me too.
Like, as indie game fans, like, visibility is the only thing holding back so many of these games that are fucking incredible, and hoping that they get picked up and thrown into a Nintendo Indie Direct, or hoping that they get picked up and thrown into like Summerfest or whatever, you know.
And I mean, obviously those things are still going to get way more eyeballs.
That's great.
But there's no reason to sit around and wait for somebody to put you in their showcase.
Yeah.
Do it yourself. Do your own thing. And I love that they're putting that together. That last one we saw, by the way, was called Demon Turf. And
Yeah.
we're very excited about that.
And Demon Turf we did see a little bit of during E3, which we spoke about then, and it does look lovely.
So very excited about Hub World. Hub World is going to be on August 29th.
This was my favorite trailer.
Sunday, August 29th. There's no specific start time just yet. They're going to announce that a little later on. But you can follow Hub World on Twitter. They're just twitter.com/3D platforming. And they will have all of the news about the event.
This is called Mallory.
Yeah, fuck it up, Mallory.
Now, this is the one I'm actually like, oh, I could see myself playing this one. I love breaking shit.
Fuck it up, Mallory. Yes.
Cute little puzzle solving. Yes. No arms. I don't know what you are, what kind of creature you are. So cute.
No thoughts, no arms.
No
Brain
thoughts,
smooth.
Just tiny little baby.
No winkles.
Tiny little creature.
Break everything.
Cutie.
Um,
And I love that this is their trailer. This is the clip they posted.
I love it. That's all I need to see. I'm already all about it. Speaking of big indies, Hades. You know that game Hades?
I've heard of it.
You familiar with the Hades?
Yeah. People liked that game, didn't they? 1 or 2 people.
1 or 2 people enjoy Hades. Hades is doing a little something for my birthday.
For your birthday?
For my birthday.
specifically?
Actually, a little late, but that's okay. They put the effort in. They
That's
put the
nice
thought
of
in.
them.
September 17th,
Okay.
the Power A and Hades will be coming together and releasing the spreadsheet.
Anthony!
I thought it was up. I don't know.
The spreadsheet!
I don't know.
You saw nothing.
This is the Hades controller. And it do look good. Now, I love that it has like the reflective 2-tone coating here. With all the little, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the good shit.
Now, this to me, I get big, like, obviously it's using that, like, Louis Vuitton classic print.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah, super, super cute. I love that. We were debating back and forth. I think it'd be better without the Hades character actually on it. If you just gave me that controller,
Yeah.
and it was matte red with the shine coming from that, like, Louis Vuitton print re-skinned as a Hades print,
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck me right up.
Yeah, I think I would like it if maybe down here, it would be cool if it had just like his laurel or something,
Yeah.
you know? But I understand why they want to get the character on there, big and bold. It's not necessarily entirely to my taste,
Yeah.
but you know.
It's a good controller, though.
It is a good controller. Power A is one of my favorite
That's
third-party.
a damn good controller. That's my nitpick of it, but like that's a beautiful controller.
Yeah, and you have a Power A that you use. You have an Xbox Power A.
I do have an.
They
Xbox
make good
Power
stuff.
that I like. It's what we were talking about. We've talked about many times. It was like my love for the Animal Crossing Switch.
Mm-hmm.
They did such a good job of being like, let's put a pattern on it, and not like Nook.
Yeah. Oh, and the old DSs as well.
So good.
Those old DSs for Animal Crossing were amazing.
So good.
But yeah, I like something. I understand the reference. That's why I'm buying the controller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it.
Right.
I get it.
It's the same way that like we have a hard time finding nerd merch that is like less in your face. I don't want it to look like merch.
Right.
I want it to look like a fashionable outfit that is inspired by a thing I like.
Yes.
It's like when you find a Star Wars shirt and it doesn't say like Star Wars, and instead it's like, oh, is that a little rebellion symbol on
I
it?
own a little of both.
Yeah.
I do have some. My favorite thing that's just a plain Star Wars logo, though, is a cable knit sweater where they knit the Star Wars logo into it.
And that's cute.
It's very cute.
That can be very cute as well. Sometimes it's fun to billboard the things you like, but it's also like
But I also love.
full fashion.
I have a button-down shirt that's just like this, and all it is it's like the pattern of Beskar.
Yeah, that's good.
It just looks like a bar of Beskar, and it's got like a very tiny Mando skull like hidden.
Yeah.
And I like stuff like that.
Love stuff like that.
It's- yeah.
Absolutely. I have a jumpsuit that has like a star pattern on it, and very subtly has little rebellion symbols all throughout it.
Yeah, I love
very
stuff like that. Because, man, like I said, we get it. That's why we're buying it.
Right.
And I would rather other people walk up to me when I'm wearing something subtle and be like, oh, that's real nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Rather than like you're saying, big logo. And it's like, I too enjoy the logo.
Right. Yes! A company! Brand!
Disassembled Jay says, I have Van shoes with flowers and Yoda is in the flowers. I remember that Vans collection, and that's a very good collection.
I don't like when men approach me because I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. It's my least favorite.
Sure. Sure.
Anytime someone's like, do you like Star Wars?
But in all
When I'm
honesty,
wearing a Star Wars shirt.
But in all honesty, if I were your copy editor, I would say we could remove that entire second clause.
I don't like when men approach me.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. You're right.
But no, I feel the same way. It's like sometimes I'm wearing a bunch of stuff and I'm just like, "Oh no, am I inviting conversation today?" And you have to think about that before you leave the house.
Yeah.
You know?
See, I do that a lot. I think about that often. And then I say, no, fuck you. It's my outfit, and I'm going to wear what I want. And if any man bothers me about it, I'll punch him square in the nose. And that's generally how I pick out my outfits.
And that's how it is. Speaking of brands, Marvel's Avengers.
Brand!
Brand.
Avengers!
Avengers content keeps coming.
That is the Marvel Avengers game.
Yep. Avengers content keeps coming. They released a roadmap. They're sticking pretty much to it. We got the T'Challa, Black Panther expansion. People are more on board with Avengers now than they were in the beginning. It seems like they're putting a lot of work in.
The bar is still pretty low. I wouldn't say the game is thriving. You know, it's a game that failed at launch pretty hard and is having a hard time picking up those people who were disappointed in the beginning.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to overcome a bad first impression, but it seems like Crystal Dynamics is kind of committed to that, which is great.
We appreciate them not giving up on it and trying to make a good game that people like.
Now, one thing that they have not stuck to on the roadmap, if you're a PlayStation owner, where's that Peter Spider-Man?
Yeah, hey, where the fuck is Spider-Man?
Peter Spider-Man was supposed to be here for me. There's Zag. It's still coming this year, they say. They say it's still on track. Mm-hmm. Very fascinating. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, we're midway through August, and we don't have a date for it. Anything that is coming in 2021 but doesn't yet have a date, I'm pretty skeptical of at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean it won't happen, but it's a very interesting approach to it. It's also shocking that it hasn't happened yet. Like, some of the characters that this game came out without is shocking to me. The fact
Yeah.
that T'Challa wasn't in it.
Well, and when it first launched, I remember us looking at each other and being like, "Oh, DLC content roadmap." Like we
Yep.
immediately said it. I think they were like, "What if we start with like the quote unquote core members that were announced in like phase 1 of the MCU, and then we'll throw you a Kamala Khan."
Which, like, cool. I want to come on. Don't get me wrong.
And then we'll see where it goes from there. I mean, they've done a good job. I mean, adding the Black Panther stuff, adding the Kate Bishop, the superior Hawkeye.
Of course.
But you would think that they'd be in a rush to get Spider-Man out there,
Yeah.
just because of the initial impression that the game had.
Right.
But at the same time, they've been fixing a lot of stuff, and I think that takes a lot of time. And so maybe they were like, maybe not the new content right now.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. I also wonder if, because of the popularity of the Spider-Man games, the Spider-Man and Miles Morales games, if there isn't a stronger expectation in a way that mechanically Spider-Man will work, in a way that they have not seemed to master in a little bit of a clunkier game style, with the rest of Avengers.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers does not play like Spider-Man and Miles Morales, so there might be an interesting challenge there because people know how Spider-Man feels on a PlayStation
And I mean,
controller.
they've done a good job making every character play a little bit differently. Every character feels a little bit differently. And, there was talk that Sony and Insomniac have been working with them to sort of help make it feel that way. I think the big deal, I think why we're not seeing Peter Spider-Man is, that's only coming to one platform.
Yeah.
And right now, they've got bigger worries. They're trying to fix this game for everybody and get everybody enthusiastic about it across all platforms. I mean, they've had major issues on the PC.
Yeah.
What with, the whole, here's my IP address, would you like to see it?
Hey, got an IP address. You want it? Everybody?
Would everybody like to see where I am?
Because you can.
Very
easily.
Which has been fixed.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, once again, I own Marvel's Avengers. They gave it to me free with my video card, or not my video card, with my processor, and I have yet to open up Marvel's Avengers. I'm waiting. I don't know for what, but one day I will open up.
Maybe what you're waiting for is a Spider-Man.
Maybe what I'm waiting for is Peter Spider-Man.
Maybe at the end of the day, all you ever really wanted was a Spider-Man.
I can't imagine buying it on another platform, though.
Flannel Fries in the live studio audience said ICIP.
Spell it. Moving on to another big release, one of last week's bigger releases.
Okay.
Boyfriend Dungeon.
Yeah, let's talk about Boyfriend Dungeon. If you've been on like gaming Twitter this week, you might have seen some things about Boyfriend Dungeon. Obviously, a highly anticipated indie from Kit Fox Games. People were really excited about it. I'm a dating sim fan, so something I was also really looking forward to. But players were a little upset after the game was released. Not everyone, but there was a large and loud group of people that were voicing a concern regarding one of the forced main storyline regarding stalking.
Yeah, so it turns out that the content warning, spoiler warning, real briefly, it turns out that the main antagonist in Boyfriend Dungeon is a stalker. And that was not messaged in any of the Boyfriend Dungeon materials.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, this just shows that Kit Fox kind of had a blind spot about it. They didn't think that it was something that needed to be mentioned because it was a major plot thing, and they just thought, oh, this is part of the plot. But as I was reading reviewers talking about the game and seeing some of the community talking about the game, people were like, whoa, this is an issue. And it's not just an issue that there's a bad guy that is a stalker.
Mm-hmm.
A stalker is a bad guy. We understand that. It's that people weren't told about it. And according to a couple of reviewers, including Miranda Sanchez over at IGN, the way you are forced to interact and the decisions you have in conversations
Right.
with this person are very unsettling for some people.
I will say there was a content warning, but people didn't feel like it was sufficient to describe what they were going to experience. They did say that it included stalking and emotional manipulation. That was in their content warning initially.
And I believe that was when you booted up the game.
Yes.
That wasn't in like, that wasn't on like, I didn't see it on a shop page. Maybe it's there now.
No, that's,
so it was like
the content warning was something you received when you opened up the game.
So you already bought the game. And
That's
then you
true.
open it up and it's like, oh, I didn't know we were getting into this.
Yes.
You know?
And if you're in a situation like that, most platforms will let you get a refund for a game, including Steam, something like that.
Yeah.
Just so you are aware, if you get a game and you're like, hey, this is bad for me, you can get your money back. That's a thing that you can do. But a more accurate content warning, I think that something on their Steam page, I agree, would be really, really beneficial for a lot of people. And just a content warning that really describes that, like, it's not just going to be a thing that you bypass or a thing that comes up. It is a large story point of the game that you are going to have to experience.
Kit Fox, to their credit, immediately released a statement saying, hey, the content warning for Boyfriend Dungeon inadequately describes the events of stalking and emotional manipulation that exist in the story. We're going to update the game next week with a more accurate content warning. We apologize for any hurt inflicted by our mistake, and thank you for playing. They do say that it will be coming next week, this update.
They are an indie developer that I hope we do not crucify more than we crucify these large companies that make large mistakes in kind of the same vein very frequently. They're an indie developer that I hope we give the opportunity to learn and grow that has made a mistake, and I do agree that it's a mistake. But I hope that it doesn't completely destroy a game that a lot of people have loved. It's also been praised and received very positive reviews for its inclusive and tasteful approach to gender and sexuality. So I hope that we do get a great content warning, a great update on the Steam page, and allow Boyfriend Dungeon to thrive, quite simply.
One of the reviews, we should say that it is getting positive reviews as well. The reviewer from PC Gamer said that, you know, one of the things that they enjoyed about this game is that dating for many women and queer folk in general is a huge risk. For a game about smooching sharp weapons, it's great to see Boyfriend Dungeon acknowledge that and turn it into a theme, right? Like the idea that, like, you're literally dating double-edged swords. Like, and they understand what that means, and they're trying to make something kind of thoughtful and interesting about it.
Right. I think that media needs to be able to exist in genres that make people uncomfortable. I'm personally somebody who has sensitivities around stalking and has experienced it, and things of that, specifically male manipulation. So I understand fully. I 1000% empathize with how stressful that can be in a game, and it might be a game that I would have shut off and clicked out of at a certain point. It might have been, for me personally. But I want those stories to still exist. I think those stories, even for someone in my position, might occasionally be cathartic to play through in a sense of control in a game that I can X out of at any time.
Yeah.
I want those to exist. I agree I want to be warned. But I want us to tell those stories in a way that's also controlled by women.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad to see that they understand that and that they're going to do a little something about it. Because like you're saying, it's a good story.
It is.
Not every good story is for everyone. Not every good story is going to be healthy for everyone.
Right. And in being responsible for my own mental health, like, that gives me the tools and the power to do so when I get warned about it. But yeah, so that's an interesting thought. Y'all have a lot of interesting perspective in chat as well, which we appreciate very, very much. But somebody said booted it up this morning. It's still not there. They've not said they've updated it yet. They said they are working on it.
Yeah, it should be here sometime this week. Hopefully. They're you know, unfortunately for even simple things like we have to reword this. Well, number one, there's the proper rewording of it, which somebody has to sit and write. But number two, just changing something like that puts you through the entire QA and approval process. And I'm sure they're working with different platform holders to make sure that they get through that QA process as quickly as possible. But it does take time.
Right.
Moving on to other very important games about social issues. Lawn mowing simulator.
Now that's an important thing to discuss.
Listen. Lawn mowing simulator is out, and much like these other developers, they have not done their due diligence, Saige.
You know, we're seeing a theme here. Clearly, they're not doing their due diligence on what it really means to make a lawn mowing game.
Look, for me, if I see the word simulator in a game title, I expect it to be a goofy joke for live streaming.
Yeah,
I
same.
think about a goat simulator.
Right, absolutely.
But when you dip your toes into the simulation audience, you must be prepared for the people that you will meet along the way. You can't call it Flight Simulator and then be missing a pedal.
No.
No, God, no. Or put the runway in the wrong place of the airport.
Oh my God.
No, it's
No,
a
of
flight
course not.
simulator.
Right. So Lawnmower Simulator is taken just as seriously as flying planes. Look, if you are somebody who wants to sit down at your computer and simulate mowing a lawn, you probably really care about lawnmowers. And I'm not going to shame you for that. Of course not.
One time I found
Ain't
a
nothing wrong
YouTube
with
channel that was just a guy that rode different elevators and rated the elevators.
Oh yeah.
And he knew
I remember telling me about that.
he knew everything about every elevator.
There was a Sinks one on TikTok too.
Oh,
right?
I love the Sync one. The guy who reviews Sinks in New York. These are people care.
People care.
People care.
And I love that for them. The reviews on Lawnmower Simulator are fascinating.
Tell me all about them.
The first review here I have says, I don't know what I quite expected from this game, but I own a small lawn maintenance company. First thing I did was grind to get Skag to test out the striping mechanics, and I was very let down. Also, nothing made by Skag is going
You
to bog
couldn't
down
even
at
get a
full
Skag?
RPMs and full speed cutting 3 or 4 inches of dry grass. I should know. I own one. And on top of it, why are we cutting grass at 2.5 inches? Are we $20 lawn guys?
Seriously.
A cool season lawn should be 3.5 inches minimum. They look great at 4.5.
You can't even stripe a Skag? Which don't look that
I
up.
don't know what a word of that meant.
Don't look that up with Safe Search turned off. Striping a Skag. Do not go to Urban Dictionary.
That's a real review.
That's a real review. He was grinding to get a Skag.
He was grinding to get a Skag, and they were cutting that grass too short in a cool season.
In a cool season, you gotta go to 4.5.
Another one said, grass should be harder to cut in the rain.
Oh, for sure.
Why the heck did they not add speed cruise control or speed lock? Almost every mower has one. They're making us play inchworm with the speed.
Hey,
I think that's inchworm, but it says worm. I promise.
But also, we don't know anything about lawnmowers. It could
So
be inchworm.
It could be inchworm. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. These developers stepped into the ring, and they'd never sparred before.
Another one.
Another one. Here we go. Let me see this.
Yeah, down here.
No
Yeah.
push mowers, no weed eaters, no grass juice flying out the mower chute, no grass sticking to the wheels, no mourning doves in the ambience, no even getting off the mower? This is literally the bare minimum of the satisfying lawn mowing experience. No grass juice flying out the chute.
No, grass juice flying out the chute. That's got to be our new tongue twister. Grass juice flying out the chute.
One grass juice flying out the chute. Two grass juices flying out the chute.
I do want to say, Son of Orpheus in the live studio audience said, you brought a knife to a lawnmower fight, son.
This next one makes me think of Jeff Kanata,
Okay.
my dear friend and my co-host on We Have Concerns. His 4-year-old son can field strip a lawn sprinkler.
Not kidding.
Decided lawn sprinklers were his thing, is very into them, can name every type of lawn sprinkler, wants to go to Home Depot and talk to people about the sprinklers. This next review from Ben Wegram 2015. My 5-year-old is making me refund this because he can't get off the mower, and also no weed whacker, no speed control. He doesn't understand how to not overheat the engine. Not recommended right now for kids, which actually, like, made me think about, oh, right, kids play games. Oh, right, children play video. If there was like a lawn sprinkler simulator and you sat Jeff's kid down with it, and it didn't have everything he expected,
He would be upset.
he'd be disappointed.
And I don't want that kid to be disappointed.
If this kid watches 9 hours of lawnmower content on YouTube, he probably expects the lawnmower to do certain stuff. You can't let that kid drive an actual mower.
Shooting grass juice out the chute.
You gotta shoot the grass out the chute. You gotta grind the skag. What's the difference between professional skateboarding and lawn mowing? It all sounds the same to me.
Yeah.
You gotta shoot grass out the chute. You gotta grass out the chute. You gotta grind the skag.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk?
Yeah. 360 fake.
Or my dad mowing a lawn.
Well, on that note, there were also some positive reviews in here. And one of them was, the only thing that could improve this game is if my dad was in it. He would be standing at the edge of the lawn with his arms crossed. That's it.
You go mow the lawn, but I'm also just going to stand there the entire time and make sure you're doing it right. Okay, well then why don't you mow the lawn, Dad?
Someone said, finally, I don't have to wait for my actual grass to grow to mow again. Also, you can mow these lawns while drinking naked and not get judged by your neighbors or tasered by the police.
Now, there is something about a riding mower that I think in dude brain lights up the same part as like a go-kart. Like,
why not just go ride a go-kart?
And if you have a go-kart, why not just drive a car? You see, you can keep going. But the thing is, a go-kart is different than a car.
That is, yeah.
It's silly and ridiculous. And I feel like for a certain type of dude, or whoever, but I always think about lawnmower as like older dad territory. That's just me. Mm-hmm. I think it lights up the same part as like go-kart or ATV or something like that, even though it only goes like 5 miles an hour. There's just something to like,
maybe it feels like a small Zamboni.
I got to drive a Zamboni once.
Oh, how was it?
I tried to e-brake turn it, and they got mad at me.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
They said I could have caused a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway. But it was fun and it was worth it.
Anyway,
I knew they were going to kick me off.
People got a lot of opinions about it.
People got a lot of opinions.
Speaking of opinions, I want to throw something in here.
Okay.
We've had a lot of conversation about Twitch this week. That's actually important. Obviously, we understand and we are behind Twitch do better. Protect marginalized creators. I'll say that before we get into a not that Twitch story. Twitch just tweeted something yesterday. Not a problematic thing, but something I vehemently disagree with.
Yeah, it's not problematic, but I do have a problem with it.
Yeah, exactly. They tweeted this, and they said, which 3 sidekicks would you have join you on an adventure?
Excuse me, monolithic streaming service. A lot of those are not sidekicks.
And also, like, why you gotta choose 3 of them? Who has 3 sidekicks? But like these are not sidekicks. Dogmeat's a sidekick.
In what world is Ezio Auditore or Solid Snake or
Master Chief or Link?
Johnny Spartan?
Even Monica's not a sidekick.
No, Monica makes sure that you know she's the main character.
Right. So, excuse me?
Okay, which 3 sidekicks would you have join you on an adventure? Well, I only really see 3 sidekicks. I see Dogmeat, I see BB, I see Ghost.
Right. Waluigi is not a sidekick.
Put some fucking respect on Waluigi. Not even Nintendo will put some fucking respect on Waluigi's name.
Waluigi is a lead. Waluigi deserves your respect. Waluigi has main character energy. And I don't care what Nintendo says about it.
Let me tell you something. Out of every single Mario character, here's what we know. Waluigi fucks.
Of course.
Do the rest of them? We don't know. We can't say. We know that Waluigi does.
Of course.
So what's going on, Twitch? What's a sidekick in your mind?
I'm very confused. I understand they're sidekicks in your adventure, but then you didn't do all main characters and you didn't do all sidekicks. If you're telling me a sidekick for my adventure, show me a bunch of cool video game sidekicks. I have the experience of playing Fallout 4 and being the main character and having the sidekick of Dogmeat. I would like that in real life.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Give me sidekicks to be my sidekick. I would never imagine demeaning Master Chief into being my sidekick.
No.
Link. into being my sidekick.
You could tell Ezio he was your sidekick, and he'd laugh, and he'd be like, okay.
Right.
And he'd let you think it. He'd let you think it, but he wouldn't be.
So we've got Ghost, BB, and Dogmeat. Who's sure? Those are sidekicks.
Let me tell you something. Flannel Fries Link is literally just a child. That's true. A literal child saving the world.
Yep.
Yeah. This is... Hey, like we said, Twitch has bigger, more important things to tend to.
Yes. So we're not going to worry about this.
I mean, look, if Twitch was a lawn mowing game, I would say that they are not grinding the scag right now.
I would also say there's no grass coming out the chute here.
Yeah. So this really doesn't rate, but come on.
I do want to know.
Don't mix your metaphors.
In that case, what 3 sidekicks would you bring on an adventure?
Rush. I've always wanted a robot dog.
All right.
I do like Ghost. I would love to have Ghost as a sidekick.
Yeah.
Dinklage Ghost. I'd like original Destiny Dinklage Ghost.
Okay.
And for my third, oh man, Captain Toad.
Yeah?
I fucking love Captain Toad.
I know you do. Ooh,
What about you?
If I was going to take one from that list, I would take Dogmeat.
Okay.
I would apologize for that one time that I accidentally hit Dogmeat. That would be my chance.
Mm-hmm.
Tingle's an excellent suggestion.
Ooh, Tingle's
love
a really good
Tingle
one.
as a suggestion. I love that for you.
Yes.
Oh, Palicos, that's an excellent one. Those are so good.
What about some Pikmins?
I would love some Pikmins. I would. There's too many sidekicks.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, Saige. If you want to be an effective leader, sometimes you gotta make the hard decisions. You gotta make the cut. You gotta tell some of these Pikmin they're going home.
The ghost dog from Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, love that ghost dog.
That's pretty good. I'll think on it.
Okay, you think on it.
And hey, if you're watching this later on the YouTubes, leave a comment and let us know.
Oh, I'm seeing some good ones.
What 3 sidekicks would you have join you on an adventure?
Garrus, Dogmeat, and a Palico. I love that.
Yeah, that's really good.
Robo from Chrono Trigger. That's a good one.
I got a bat in Final Fantasy XIV that I love very much.
Oh. Do you consider it a sidekick or an FF14? Is that more of a pet?
It's a pet.
Yeah.
But I like it anyways.
Waka from Final Fantasy XIV. Or Final Fantasy X. Yeah, there you go, Largo. Rex, sure. Tails.
By Robin.
By Robin. Tim Drake.
That's great.
And technically, because of Gotham Knights,
maybe
Tim Drake could be your video game sidekick.
That's true. Clank.
Pikachu from Yellow. Arthur from The Tick. Very good.
All
Give
right.
some good ones.
Very good. Excellent choices.
Oh, Daxter.
Oh.
Clank would be good too.
Ghost and Dogmeat are definitely 2 of mine. I would bring Ghost my cat.
Oh, somebody said Chirp. Bless your heart. He's a terrible sidekick. Don't do it. If you choose Chirp as your sidekick, what you're really saying is I'm an unlicensed therapist in need of patience.
Speaking from the perspective of Dazzle, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting question. But whoever's on Twitch social, just terrible choices. Terrible choices. Moving on to some, hey, should we do some business and industry news?
Well, we're a business show.
That's true. I mean, I do have my street MBA.
And I passed the bar in the state of Virginia.
So, I mean, we might as well talk about business.
All right. Where should we start?
Well, I guess let's talk about Gigabyte.
Okay.
Doing some business.
Yeah, Gigabyte. Well, it's kind of some business. You heard about those power supplies?
The ones that explode?
Yeah, the ones that explode. The ones that do, wait for it,
What?
That.
Oh my. Yeah, there have been some very public examples of two different models of their power supply units just bursting into flames.
Bursting into flames.
And Gigabyte was like, okay, no doubt. You got us.
All right, we'll replace it.
We're gonna replace it. We're gonna replace it. You can have a new one, but hey, also, fuck the haters. Like literally Gigabyte said, we think perhaps the media is trying to make our power supplies explode for headlines.
Now, where would that idea have come from?
Why would anybody?
How would they? And multiple.
But you wanted to. They say we were made aware by third parties of concerns regarding potential issues of these two models tripping at high wattages when tested for extended lengths of time. This level of extended testing could severely reduce the lifespan of the product and components. But that's not what happened.
Don't use our power supplies so hard.
Yeah, they were like, please don't.
Quit using it so hard.
Please don't use our power supplies as hard as they can.
Don't
use them for what they're rated for.
Don't use them so hard.
So basically, Gamers Nexus were like, hey, that's not what we did. Sometimes, like more often than not, we got Gigabyte power supplies of these two models that arrived DOA, like at a much higher rate than standard power supplies. Or they would die after only a few minutes use, not extended lengths of time.
No.
They didn't overload them.
Someone in the chat said, who leaves their computer on all the time?
Who would do that? In the year of our Lord 2021, who just leaves a computer running?
I don't know about you. I never shut my computer off.
I never shut my computer off. Sometimes, if my ADHD decides it's too much white noise, I'll put my computer to sleep at night.
Yeah.
If I need it real quiet.
I shut off my monitors at night, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then it automatically goes to sleep.
Yeah. Why? You don't want your power supply being used constantly? That's what it's for, and you know that.
That's what it's for.
Gamers Nexus. I picture having 2 slide rules. Everybody at Gamers Nexus has 2 slide rules in holsters like an old-timey cowboy. That's how much they care about like methodology and thoroughness.
Yep.
You're going to tell us that Gamers Nexus lied for a headline. Come on.
Absolutely not. Hey, if you didn't use it, it wouldn't be a problem.
Use it less. Don't use it too much.
Don't use it so hard.
Go outside. We're worried about you.
Touch some grass.
Touch some grass,
nerd. Stop using your power supply and touch some grass.
Gigabyte literally said, touch grass, asshole. Anyway, the 2 power supplies that are having problems are the GP P850 GM and the GP P750 GM, so be aware of those. I have some Gigabyte components. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't use them. Maybe they're just for show. Maybe it's a nice power supply for when guests come over. You know?
Yeah, your formal power
My
supply.
formal power supply.
Uh-huh.
I put a little power supply cozy over it. You ever go to one of those houses when you were a kid where the mother has like a toilet paper cozy?
Oh, yeah.
Like a knitted cozy over a roll of toilet paper? Like,
That unlocked a weird memory.
We don't discuss that there's toilet paper in this restroom. We also don't put it in a cabinet.
No.
We simply leave it out and then I knew somebody when I was a kid whose mother had toilet paper cozies that were knitted so they looked like big bustle dresses and then had little like dolls on the top.
That's weird.
It was so weird.
That's awful weird.
I was like, it's just toilet paper. It belongs in this room.
When I was like 13, We moved into a house we couldn't afford, and it had a formal living room.
Oh.
It had like a living room and a family room.
Yes.
Essentially.
The living room was not, you were not allowed to sit there on normal days.
Yeah. And we couldn't afford to furnish it, so it was just a big empty room when you first walked in.
Very dope.
And it was like, but don't touch that carpet.
No, that's the nice
That's
carpet.
the nice living room. And we're like, you can't live in there. There's no couch.
Exactly,
Exactly, because you shouldn't be in there.
My grandmother's house was decorated in something I call mid-century Jewish ostentation.
I can picture exactly.
And it's very much, hey, we survived the Holocaust. We came over. We have a little bit of money. Let's get fancy. And it very much matches like the Italian side of my family's idea of fancy too. It's all very Baroque.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like too fancy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Is this, are we doing a reenactment of like the French Revolution?
You showed me a fancy frame that you had still.
Yes.
And I'm like, that speaks to it very much.
All
This,
of the
like,
frames
really
were
ornate,
fancy.
golden fancy frame.
But it was very much like, don't sit in that room, don't play in that room. Because there was a room that had like the fancy sitting couch and the fancy table.
Yeah.
And everything was just like, I didn't have the heart to tell them it looked like I mean, it really did look like a corny Italian restaurant, or like, I don't know. It just looked, or like a school play.
Cheesecake Factory.
The
vibes.
Cheesecake Factory. Yes. Or like a school play about the French Revolution. Like if a high school was doing Les Mis.
Yeah, so they like run out the couch really quick onto the stage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
That's very funny.
Plastic on the furniture. Plastic on the furniture. What's it for then? What's it for? Why own it? Anyway.
Anthony, I want to revisit a story that we talked about last week.
Unplug your power supply. Go ahead.
Yeah, quick, unply it. That one's not for using. That one's for company. Anyways, my mom had towels like that. My mom still has towels like that.
Oh, the towels that you don't touch.
The towels in the bathroom.
Yeah, they go on the
hand-drying
rack.
Towels.
Yeah, they go on the rack and you don't dry your hands with them.
Don't dry your hands with them.
They're just there to look cool.
Yep.
What do I dry my hands with? I don't care, not that.
Right. She themes her bathrooms, dude.
I mean, a lot of people theme their bathrooms.
Oh, no.
You'll have to give me more than that.
At Christmas, and like a month before Christmas, my mother does a full-out Christmas-themed bathroom.
Oh, she's one of those.
So she's got like a Christmas shower curtain and Christmas towels and like
Not
a
that the-
Christmas toilet seat
Not like the
cover.
room has like a beach theme. It's that
No, the rest of the
whatever's-
year it has a beach theme.
Yeah, but whatever's coming up.
Yeah, unless she gets bored of the beach theme, and then it has a Paris theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever holiday is coming up, she has a themed bathroom for. She has like an Easter-themed bathroom set. Why the bathroom? For what? For what?
You open the toilet seat in the Easter-themed bathroom, and a little Jesus pops up. He's risen.
And the weirdest part is we're Jewish.
That actually is very weird.
I know.
But you know, there are a lot of Jewish families that do that, and I've never understood. Well, I do understand it. Here's what I understand: we don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not it's not a Jewish thing. We don't decorate, really.
Yeah.
We have one holiday where we decorate, and it's like our harvest holiday, and we're supposed to just decorate with plants.
Right. And that's not as fun.
But like, we don't really do. Like, people are like, "What are Hanukkah decorations?" We're like, we don't do it. Hanukkah's not even a big deal.
Absolutely not. The Hanukkah decorations people make are cheesy, and it's not for us.
All of our big holidays are about sitting and thinking about what you've done.
Right.
So like, there's no real decoration.
And
for
my
that.
mom loves holidays, and I think it's because she was like an only child, so she's just like, I love holidays. I want to celebrate. We're doing family shit.
Yeah.
So we do Christmas and Easter. It's just Jesus isn't there. Jesus is not part of this.
Christmas is super fun. I mean, you think about like you go to Japan and they're not Christian, but they fucking love a Christmas tree. You know what I mean? For them, it's just like so I get it. I don't do it. I think it's a little off when people do it, but like
I do it.
I don't blame you. Christmas is just an aesthetically better holiday than anything we have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you want to put up lights and shit, I
Right.
get that.
I'm also not actively Jewish, which is how I'm describing it now. So like,
Culturally.
right, I'm culturally Jewish, so I could have a Christmas tree. I'm not gonna hurt anybody's feelings.
You're not hurting anybody's feelings.
Anyways, let's talk about something that we talked about last week, which was Mario Kart 64 speedrunning.
Yes.
If you joined us last week, if you didn't, hey, Where were you?
We were worried.
Are you okay?
Are you good? I mean, look, I know
We're glad
everybody
you're here now.
Everybody needs some time to recharge. We don't want to pressure you. We're not going to push you. We're just glad you're back.
Right.
But here's what you missed.
So, last week we spoke about a Mario Kart 64 speedrunner that was trying to get the world record in, what was it, 8 different categories?
It was every single Mario Kart 64 track record
Right.
at once. It's 32 world records.
32 world records. He
Simultaneously.
originally held 8 or something, or yeah, something of the sort.
Yeah.
And there was somebody else who held it that had been barring him out for years. He had been trying to get a hold of it. And essentially, in doing so, the way that he finally succeeded at getting all of these records was he only said that he was working on a couple of them.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm just going to work on like these 2 over here. I'm going to try and get these 2. When low key, he was working on all of them.
Yeah. So basically in the speedrunning community, like if you announce that you're working on a record, I mean, a lot of people announce it and then they stream it or they talk to people about it. And what happens is anybody else, maybe the person who already has that record or maybe somebody else who wants that record, what you do is by saying that, you spur your competition into action.
Right. And every time he would do that, the other guy would bar him out. So he said, I'm going to do what is not traditional in the space and what's a little shitty. And he acknowledged that. He was like, I'm sorry. Like, this is a little bit shitty. But I want these records. And I think I can get them. And he did. Well, the person who had been barring him out for years, Matthias Rustmeyer.
He is maybe the most famous person in the Mario Kart 64 speedrunning scene.
Yeah, I would definitely say
he's
so.
He's a big deal.
He's a big fucking deal. Was really hurt by this.
Mm-hmm.
He feels betrayed. He feels lied to. And his response is he retired over the betrayal. Not like, I don't think I'm going to beat that record. I think that I have hit my record and I think someone new has it now. I'm going to retire. He is retiring because he feels betrayed.
You know, it's important to remember that even though speedrunning is a competitive thing, it is also a community. You know, if you speedrun Mario Kart 64, you're probably in a Discord server with everybody else who speedruns Mario Kart 64.
Right.
You probably talk. You probably hang out. So for somebody to go and do this, our poor soft boy was hurt.
Natasha J in a live studio audience said, I strive to be that dramatic. It's pretty dramatic.
It's
this is
pretty
like
dramatic.
Been essentially, you're a career Mario Kart 64 speedrunner. He's been holding these records for years and intentionally blocking this other guy from getting them. Every time the other guy says he's working on him, he outdoes him.
I mean, you know,
I know that that's
not,
the thing.
It's not an intentional block. I mean, what would happen is like, you know, dude would set a record, and then Matthias would set a record, and then the dude would set a record.
That's the thing. And
Who is it?
that's
Dan
okay.
Burbank. Yeah.
Like, it's okay that
Yeah.
this guy was winning, that Matthias kept doing it, that Matthias kept beating him. That's the game. I get it. But he said, I completely lost the key value to go on. Fun. And he fucking retired.
So, I mean, look. I think, like, there are people in the audience that are going, like, you know, like Natasha said, I strive to be that dramatic. Or do you pick up his ball and go home? You know, like that sort of thing. And I get that to a certain extent. But I also think it's really interesting. There is etiquette within a community and rules that we don't know about. And a lot of the people in this Mario 64 speedrunning community said the same thing, where they were like, it's kind of shitty of Dan to do that. We don't do that to each other.
There's a difference between being like, I resent Dan for that, 100% valid, and retiring. That's what I will stand by. I bet it sucked. I think it was shitty. I understand you having your feelings hurt, and I think that's valid.
Yeah.
I do. I think that's totally valid. I'll also say retiring over it is dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
It's very dramatic. It just simply is. I understand feeling betrayed. Absolutely. But, whoa. but like, whoa.
I mean, what I'd like to think is that Matthias went, I'm retiring. This is hurtful. You've done the worst thing you could to me. This is a betrayal, I say. Now I am working on all of the records myself.
Yeah.
Now I will set all 32 of the records in secret. And then he pops back up and he goes, "Oh, Daniel, look what I've done."
It sucks. I'm not going to defend what he did. That
no,
sucks.
I'm saying I would like Matthias to do that.
Yeah.
I want Matthias to like leave and be like, "Yeah, I'm retired."
But then he's doing the same thing to the whole community and not just to Daniel inherently.
Yeah.
Son of Orpheus, one of our mods, said, think about the hobby or something that's super important to you and someone ending your ability to do it. He didn't end his ability to do it. He just doesn't hold the world record anymore.
Go back and do
You
it.
can still do it. You just don't hold the world record anymore. That is the only thing that happened here.
And look, here's the thing. Dan Burbank is not going to hold these records forever.
Right.
He wanted one very specific thing that he knew he could only have for a moment in time.
Right.
He wanted all of them at once.
Yeah.
No one's ever done it. He was like, I want to be the guy that does it first.
Right.
I did it.
Yeah.
Somebody could set a new record on one of those tracks next week.
Absolutely. You can still speedrun. If all you care about is being number one, that's also a problematic thing in a community. If you're about it being fun was the idea, then not having fun anymore is a valid reason to stop, but it's a direct response to it. And if the competition between those two was the direct appeal,
I want him to come back for one last job.
yeah, one last job.
I want him secretly working on this, or I want him to come back and declare it publicly.
I would like that.
I will be setting all of these records,
Yeah.
and no one will stop me.
Find a new rival.
So I want to show this before we
A lot of other people.
move on. This is the red line along the left side here. You can see that's every course, and every red line, that's the amount of time between 2010 and 2020 that Matthias held the record.
And that's why I think it's petty, is he's held it for so long and no one else has had a shot at it. I don't think the rivalry was the fun of it, because there would be more of a back and forth if the rivalry was the fun of it.
It's easy to
right?
say the rivalry is the fun of it when you're constantly in first.
Yeah, right?
You know, that's
It
the other
was
thing.
fun for me when it was a rivalry. Like, no one was a rival against you. Look at what you were doing. And that's great. Good for you. You kicked ass. You deserved that.
I just
that's
like
fucking
it.
Awesome.
I just like it. I just like the sportsmanship and the camaraderie. Yeah, it's easy to say when you're the gold medal.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world to say. Hey,
Right.
chum, wasn't that a great race?
Yeah.
So easy to be
And
a good winner.
again, you have those fair and square. Matthias kicked ass. Very good at this game. Earned those. Absolutely.
Don't make your if you've been part of this community for so long, don't make your legacy that you walked away.
You can walk away at any point, but don't make it that you walked away because you weren't first anymore.
Right.
That's
Don't make
a
it that you
bummer.
walked away because you got a little upset.
That's a bummer.
You can walk away from anything anytime you want. Hey, look at me. Look at me. You can walk away from anything anytime you want.
Uh-huh.
Anything. But don't be a little baby.
But I do strive to be that dramatic.
I know you do. You get so close sometimes.
Thank you.
One day you'll get there.
Thank you.
I believe in you.
I appreciate that.
Hey, BBs?
BBs?
How come nobody told us about this before Valve patched it? If you all were doing this and you didn't tell us this before Valve patched it?
Oh my god, if you didn't tell us about free Steam money when there was free Steam money to be had?
I'm so mad at you.
Oh my god, BBs, did you know about this?
BBs?
We would like free Steam money. We're very poor.
So there was an exploit that let people add infinite Steam money. Basically, there was a security researcher on HackerOne that submitted the exploit. Nobody was using it. It did not actually get out publicly. HackerOne, if you're not familiar, is a site that connects companies with users who like to kind of hack and tinker and narc.
I'm kidding. This is the thing that needed to be fixed.
Yeah, but basically these are people who, for fun, try to find exploits and hacks, but also can be like, hey, I found an exploit. I can submit it to you. What is this exploit worth to you?
Right.
You know, I found something. Will you pay me to fix it or to let you know how to fix it? It's not quite like blackmail or extortion because the exploit exists, but it's very I always find a site like HackerOne interesting because it's like, oh, I would never do anything with this, but like, I could tell you about it. Maybe you could fix it. I'd hate for anybody to do anything with it.
Are these people getting paid for it then? Nearly?
Yeah, they'll be like, hey, how much is this worth?
I think it's great.
I think it's good.
I'm generally in favor of the model of people being like, hey, we hired the person who was able to completely fuck our system.
And they do like, the way HackerOne works is companies say that they want to be a part of this. So it's like Valve says, hey, we're opening up bounties to HackerOne.
Right.
If you find
something,
let us know and we'll work it out.
Right.
So
I think that's a cool thing from a business.
It is cool. It's good. Basically on August 9th, Dr. Bricks, who's a user on HackerOne, alerted Valve to a Steam wallet exploit that involved changing your email address and intercepting transactions that use smart-to-pay payment methods. It's very interesting. So basically, it's like by switching out and stopping these things from going through,
money.
You're essentially just constantly money.
Yeah.
And you could just get infinite things. Valve has paid Dr. Bricks $7,500 for finding this security exploit.
That's great.
It's great.
Good for Dr. Bricks.
I mean, look, $7,500 do seem a little stingy for an exploit that could have created infinite money for infinite people.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, some of these bounties, Riot pays like $100,000 for Valorant bounties.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just don't know. I don't have any scale for what these kind of things are worth.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if you feel like pay him infinite Steam money, yeah, give him one of those old school Steam press accounts.
Oh man, that'd be cool.
God, do you know anybody with one of those? I know 2 people with
No.
those, and god damn, it's like free real estate, baby. It's like
Yeah, that's how you describe it.
It's free real estate. It's fucking amazing. I tried so hard to get one because I knew they were going to shut down.
Yeah.
Back when I was at Rev 3, I was like, please. And it was like, no, nobody. It's just free money all the way down. Speaking of Steam and Valve.
Phil Spencer got his hands on a Steam Deck.
Our buddy Phil.
Not actually.
Our sweet dear friend Phil. Everyone's
not
good
friends
friend
with Phil Spencer.
Everybody's lovely buddy who we all love, Phil Spencer. Went and visited Valve.
Yeah.
And played around for a week with the Steam Deck. And he likes it.
He likes it.
He likes it enough that he publicly tweeted about it.
He said, was at Valve Software this week talking with Scott, Eric, Gabe about the Steam Deck. After having mine most of the week, I can say it's a really nice device. Games with me on the go, screen size, controls, all great. Playing Halo and Age feels good. xCloud works well. Congrats, SD team.
Now, of course, the important clause or phrase within that tweet is xCloud works well. Now, we're very much hoping that maybe other stuff works well.
Yeah, right?
We're very much hoping that, like, maybe Xbox makes some of their games Proton compatible. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
We'll see what happens there. But, boy, it's kind of interesting that he's publicly tweeting about the thing.
It is. It makes me think that there is a partnership in some capacity.
I would hope so. I mean, you know, Microsoft, like we said, Phil doesn't want to sell you another Xbox.
No.
Phil would like it if you never bought another Xbox again. Phil wants you to turn on your TV and see an Xbox app. Phil wants you to open up your phone.
Steam Deck.
Yeah, open up your Steam Deck. I mean, and I love this. I love this. As somebody who's been doing a lot of xCloud bathtub gaming, I'm about it.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
And maybe there's no partnership, and maybe he's just congratulating a team on doing something cool, and he got his hands on one, so he wanted to thank them for it because he got his early Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And that's great.
If the most, it would
Either
be
way, cool shit.
Yeah, it would be a shame if the most we got from them is xCloud, and not some sort of Linux or Steam, Steam OS version of Game Pass. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We're running out of time already.
Are we really?
We really are.
Are we running out of time?
a few minutes over because we started a few minutes late.
Are we really running out of time?
We really are.
Really?
Really?
That's the look that Saige gives me when she's like, "You're doing that thing where you want to go around in circles infinitely."
And I won't do it.
And I'm over it.
Let's talk about the My Hero Academia movie.
We know there's a live action movie coming.
We're some My Hero Academia fans here.
We do indeed love My Hero Academia.
And there is a live action film in the works. Always a little scary for anime adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
We're there with you. We're always a little scared. But the live action adaptation has a director.
Shinsuke Sato has joined the production as director. If you are familiar with him, you probably know him from I Am a Hero or Netflix's Alice in Borderland. He did the 2018 Bleach movie. He's good. He's good. He also did the Japanese live-action Death Note movies and the live-action Gantz films in Japan. This is going to be his first English-language film.
Which I have so much more confidence in, because the main issue that we've seen with English language anime adaptations obviously are messy appropriation, quite simply.
You didn't like Netflix's Jeff Wingard presents Death Note? You're not a fan of Dragon Ball Z Evolution?
We haven't done a great job here, and we have no reason for there to be any faith in anyone here to make a live-action anime adaptation.
I have faith in no one at all, ever. Least of all, myself.
I've got some faith in Shinsuke Nato.
And yet, I too think Shinsuke Nato is going to do a good job here.
I'm excited about it. I think that My Hero as a series could lend itself well to a live-action adaptation. I think it could be really interesting. I'm excited to see when we start getting casting for it.
Ooh, that's going to be really interesting. That's going to be really interesting. There is still no writer attached to the project.
So we're a ways out.
We're a ways out, but these things either go writer first or they go director first, you know, with movies. It's like, okay, we got the director, now let's try to find a writer that the director likes.
Right.
Or it goes like, we've got a script, let's find a director, and then the director tries to hack up the script.
Yeah.
You know, it can go either way. Either way, it's collaborative, right?
Yeah.
But I do like that they're starting with somebody that we think is the right director for the job.
Yeah.
And going from there.
I would love to know if any of you have, like, fantasy casting for a film like this. If you have any casting choices for our very good boys of the My Hero group and the women who are deeply underdeveloped characters. I said what I said. I love My Hero Academia. They don't love the women.
They do not. They absolutely do not. And hey, if you have not, Alice in Borderland is on Netflix. I believe I Am a Hero and Princess Blade are on Netflix. Check them out.
Yeah, do it.
Check out Shinsuke Nato's stuff. It's very good.
Speaking of live action adaptations, Powerpuff Girls, the CW pilot.
Ooh, baby, we read some of that pilot.
Yes, we did. We read it here. It was a mess.
That was the one where Bubbles was threatening to leak Blossom's nudes? Or Buttercup's nudes?
Blossom was threatening to leak Buttercup's nudes because she had already done that to Bubbles.
Anyway, they're Riverdaling the Powerpuff Girls.
They Riverdaled it really hard. They did retract that script and say that they were just totally doing it over. It was a misstep. They fucked up. Total retake on this.
There are two people that are sort of considered the bigger, more known talent. On the Powerpuff Girls. Number one was Donald Faison as Professor Utonium, which I thought was great.
Yep.
Interesting take.
Yeah.
The second one was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Chloe Bennett.
Who was going to play Blossom, who has stepped away from the project. She said, no, thanks.
She said, no, this is bad.
No, I don't think this is it, actually. I think I gotta go.
This is not going well, is what she said.
I think I need to go.
I think my ride's here. Oh no, I would love to film more episodes, but my Uber's here, and if I leave them waiting, they start charging me.
So
I can't do any more.
Good luck with that, I guess.
So basically,
this story was suggested by Son of Orpheus in the live studio audience.
Hey,
in our
thanks.
Discord. Thank you.
So basically, you know, you sign up for a pilot, and the way it works is you sign up before you do the pilot. They're just like, hey, believe in this project.
Yeah.
And you go, unless you're a really big star. They just go, hey, believe in this project. It's going to be great. Great people are attached to it. You don't get to read it. You don't get to have any input. They go, do you want in or not?
And they're like,
yes,
yeah, in theory.
Yes, I need to work. So
Yeah.
you sign it. You get, you do the pilot, and then they have a pickup option. So basically, they say, if this goes to series, you agree to come back and be this character on the series. And those last for a certain amount of time.
Right.
It seems like what happened was the pilot was very bad.
Very bad.
A lot of things shut down due to COVID, and then also they had to heavily rework this thing. And during that time, Chloe Bennett's option expired.
Yup.
And she said, fuck this very bad show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, this was not the move. Never mind. Actually, goodbye.
People who are sticking around, basically, I mean, the rest of the cast, Dove Cameron's sticking around to be Bubbles. Yana Peralta is going to be Buttercup.
For now.
Now, certain people are just in talks to return. That includes Donald Faison. Nicholas Padani, who they got to play Mojo Jojo.
Hilarious.
And Robin Lively, who is playing Sarah Bellum. Miss
Incredible.
Bellum. I mean, Robin Lively as Miss Bellum is really good.
Do you think they'll actually show her?
No.
She's just going to be...
I think it's just going to be Miss Bellum from the neck down. I hope so. But anyway, a lot of people are in talks.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I think probably don't do this. I don't like to yuck anybody's yum, and I always like to give things the benefit of the doubt. And like, I want to see it. Do the thing, and then I'll see it, and then I'll have an opinion.
Yeah.
But this does not seem well advised.
No, I'm not super hopeful for it. I was down. I was down with the idea of it. It sounded like it was going to be terrible, and I was still ready to fuck around and find out. I think I'm still ready to fuck around and find out.
Okay.
I'll watch the pilot.
Sure.
But I'm going in a little more prepared to like hate watch it, quite simply.
I don't think we ever see the pilot.
Yeah.
I think they try again, and I think it never makes it to air. I think this is just going to be one of those. There's so many projects that are trying to be like this Riverdale thing, right?
Yeah.
Like we've got Wednesday Addams.
Right.
We've got so many shows that are just like, what can we pick up that's like kids remember
Yeah.
that are adults now?
And we have a lot of nostalgia for the Powerpuff Girls because it's an excellent show.
It's such a good show. Hey, everybody, go watch the Powerpuff Girls movie today.
It's already 9:35. Do we have time for... Or should we go?
We can go.
We still got an outro to do.
We still have to do the outro.
Oh my god.
BBs, we just love hanging out with you so much.
We do. We don't know how to end a show on time. We had things we didn't even get to. So you know what? We'll probably post them on the Patreon. We got extra clips this week.
Ooh,
so
baby.
keep a lookout on the Patreon. If you're not already a patron, we just hit 50 patrons over there.
Hey.
So thank you for supporting us.
And
That's
hey,
very cool of you.
If you are a patron, tomorrow we're starting work on the studio.
Tomorrow's our painting stream. You might have heard us talk about it. We did update that there wasn't going to be one on Thursday because I forgot that paint fumes existed.
Right. We have to do it on a day when Saige can leave the room and not come back to the room until the fumes are gone.
Correct. And not realizing that I would have had to be in here at 4 p.m. for the Black Dice Society on Thursday was my bad.
So we're going to do it tomorrow. Basically what we do is we leave the camera up. We leave chat up. You'll get a link if you're a patron. And
we'll be vibing.
We'll just be vibing and checking in on each other. And I will be announcing the winner of 1 to 3 Google Stadias.
Yes, which that is not exclusive to patrons.
No.
So we'll also put
God,
it on
no.
Twitter.
How could I leave such a bounty exclusive to patrons only? And if you have not joined into this competition yet, there is still time.
There is.
All you have to do today is make a clip of the show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tweet it at the Pixel Circus on Twitter. And you could be entered to win 1 to 3 Stadias. Because Google keeps sending me Stadias. I'm going to roll a D4 and see how many Stadias
Do
you
we ship
get.
international if the winner's not in the U.S.?
Sure, I'll send you a Stadia.
Okay.
I'm going to send it. Listen, don't expect insurance or fast shipping.
I want to let you know I had no part in this. This is something Anthony actually decided to do live.
1
So
to 3
I
Google
don't
Stadias
know.
could be yours.
This is entirely Anthony.
Share clips on Twitter. That's a great way to support the show, by the way.
It is. Let's talk about supporting the show.
Let's talk about supporting the show.
There's a bunch of ways you can do so. We forgot to put up the donation goal today, but that's okay.
Oh, my goodness.
We appreciate you anyways. Thank you.
Thank you
for being here, and thank you for supporting us anyways.
I'd love to know where we're at.
That's not correct.
That's not correct. So I can't. There's no way to know.
Anyways.
Anyway.
It's
too early clip.
So.
Murder Paladins wants to know any clip. Any clip.
Any clip of It's Too Early.
But it should be a good clip.
Ideally, it's a good clip.
Because I'm gonna pick we're gonna pick the best clip, and then I'm gonna roll a D4, and we're gonna do that until we run out of stadias.
Anyways,
maybe the first person wins all 3 stadias.
Yeah, the plan wasn't doing multiple. The plan was one person wins 1 to 3.
But if I got stadias left,
Anthony is going to be the death of me.
Anyone can win a stadia.
We need to definitively say how many winners there are. You can't do a giveaway like that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So if the first person wins and I roll a D4 and they win all 3 stadias, that's the only person that wins. Baby, that's the way it works. Look. That's the luck of the draw. That's Vegas, baby. Vegas.
You can also share a clip and not get a stadia disassembled. Don't worry about it. Y'all, donations, subs, things of the sort are excellent ways to support us. We're an entirely independent channel. That's how we continue making content, and we love you for it. That's very cool. However, in addition to that, money's weird. You don't always have to do that stuff. Don't worry about it. Showing up for the show, that is the #1 thing you can do. We make a show so that people will watch it. If you did that, that's more than enough. Your time's very valuable. You can be spending it anywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you for starting your morning with us instead. Okay? You can also interact in our Discord. You can watch us on YouTube. You can thumbs up the videos on YouTube.
That's really good.
Super helpful. We just now got to the point where we can even monetize on YouTube if they'll let us. I wonder how quickly we'll get demonetized.
Ooh, baby.
We'll see about that.
Soon we're going to be rolling in the pennies.
Yeah.
But, you know, you may have some friends that aren't big on Twitch, don't watch it a lot. You yourself may not watch a lot of Twitch, may want to catch the show later on. We obviously keep VODs here, but subscribing on YouTube means you're never going to miss anything Pixel Circus does, and that's a great way to be. Folks, we do want to thank everybody who followed, subscribed, donated, did all of those wonderful things. These are the members of the honor roll. Chewy says, relax. Thank you for the follow. Kalen Roar, 100 bits, a humble offering in place of infinite Steam bucks. Oh, thank you very much. 54 Aquasnakes, $10.69. Friday the 13th on Failed Save was one of the top 10 episodes ever. Thank you very much. Enzo TV with the follow. Ibti Elb with the follow. Aurora 2310. Rotund Owlbear. Richard Studios. Andrew Nealon. What's up, buddy? Game developer and professor Andrew Nealon is with us. Kaylin Roar with the gift sub. Thank you very much. Ivanovsky. Ben from TTG. Gianni99. Thank you for the follow. Kaylin Roar with another gift sub. Peppermint Nova with the follow. Bailey the Nicky Simp. Caldesh. Helix2. Bright Kens. Thank you all for the follow. Flannel Fries with the resub for 10 months.
That's a lot of months.
Hosts are 10s, mugs are 10s, news is 10s. Happy to be here. We're happy you're here for 10 months, Flannel Fries. Which shell deck with a bit. Thank you for the bit, and I'm sorry about saying your name however I did. Kaylin Roar with another 300 bits. G-Rex13 with a resub for 5 months in a row. Thank you so much. Tian Mar with another 5 months in a row. It's exactly 5:15 o'clock, or as the U.S. would say it, 8 a.m. Damn right.
You're right. Exactly.
Def Juzz, the Foxblade, Loudbox, thank you all for the follow. And Loudbox, thank you for the resub for 4 months.
Right at the start of the show.
Right at the start of the show.
So appreciated. Thank you for showing up at exactly 8 a.m. We, of course, do the show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Of course.
Don't miss it. All right?
Come you two daring or just friends? I think we're pretty daring.
I think we're pretty bold.
I think it's pretty bold of you to ask an inappropriate question in chat. But we are pretty daring.
Maybe just not as daring as you are, you schmuck. Anyways, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And hey, Anthony, when you're not here, where the hell are you?
Oh, my stars and garters, Saige. You can find me just about everywhere on the internet at @Carboni. Right now, I would really appreciate it if you followed me on Instagram at @Carboni, trying to goose those numbers up a little bit, posting some photos, you know? But here on Twitch, I am not Carboni. I am Anthony Carboni on Twitch. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. You can also find me every Friday here on Failed Safe, but also on my science comedy podcast, We Have Concerns, that I do with Jeff Kanata. This week's episode is all about whether AI is allowed to patent an invention that it comes up with.
Oh.
There is now legal precedent for this.
Fascinating.
Fascinating, baby.
Very interesting.
They're
I'll be
literally,
listening, so you better.
They're coming for our gerbs. Our gerbs.
And you can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel. Times, the schedule's fucky right now. Don't worry about
So
it. I'm
fucky.
around. Follow me on Twitter to find out mostly when. I'll tweet when I go live.
Where do they follow you on Twitter to fuck around?
And Not Saige. Why, thank you. That's where you would fuck around and find out. You can also find me on the D&D channel. You can find me on Mad Cave Studios. And you can find me on Smosh Games, including this afternoon for Bored AF live at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep, yep. We're doing something very special on Bored AF today.
What are you doing?
Abria's there. Abria Iyengar is running a one-shot TTRPG for a little portion of the Smosh cast.
Critical Role in Dimension 20, but most importantly, failed saves Abria Iyengar?
Yes. Yes, she is. We're playing a little TTRPG over there. We're doing a little indie RPG. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be loose and ridiculous, and that goes live at 3 o'clock. I'm very excited about it.
Baby, so loose and ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's
the
it.
stuff. That's the show. Come back and join us on Wednesday, would you?
We love you, BBs.
Maybe see you tomorrow for a paint stream if you're a patron. Bye, boobies.
Bye, BBs.